Hello, students. Hope all of you are fine. Today we are going to learn a poem, The Solitary Reaper, from Oxford Modern English Book 8, and this is part of unit number 2. First of all, understand the meaning of solitary. Solitary is lonely, a person who is alone. Reaper. Reaper is a person who cuts the ripe crop or he who is cutting the ripe crop. So, the poem represents a girl who is alone in the field and cutting the ripe crop. Words to know: behold, see, binds, ties, shan't, sing, haunt, place visited frequently, Hebrides, islands near Great Britain, lay, song, melancholy, sad, plaintive, mournful, profound, having or coming from a great depth, reaping, cutting grain or similar crop, strain, burst or short spell of music or poetry, yawn, that person or thing over there. Now read the poem together. Behold her single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with sound. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago? Or is it some more humbly familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again? Whatever the theme, the maiden sang as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and over the sickle bending, I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. William Wordsworth. Students, this poem is written by greatest nature poet William Wordsworth. He had a great poetic imagination and his observations from nature were always accurate and first-hand. In this poem, The Solitary Reaper, the poet shares his experience while passing by the field. He tells us that one day he saw a young girl who was alone cutting crops in the field. The valley was filled with the sound of the song that she was singing. The poet compares her voice to the melodious nightingale bird. He says that no nightingale in the desert who sings song for the tired travelers would have sung so beautifully. Her voice was better than the cuckoo bird's thrilling voice, which expressed the onset of spring in the far off islands of Hebrides. He could not understand her song, but considers it to be a sad song in the memory of some old unhappy events like a war. As he walked up the hill, the music of the girl's song remained in his heart. The song remained in his heart for a long time afterwards. Exercises A. Understanding the poem. 1. Answer the following questions. A. By the use of certain words in the first verse, the poet conveys a sense of solitude. Which are these words? Answer. Single in the fields, Solitary, by herself, alone, melancholy. B. Who is the poet addressing when he says, "Stop here," or "gently pass"? Answer. The poet is addressing someone, anybody, possibly someone passing that way by the field in which the reaper is at work. See, what does the poet imagine the reaper's song is about? Answer. The poet does not know what the reaper is singing. He imagines it to be about old, unhappy, far off things, or a battle, or a song of everyday affairs. He appeals to a listener. Will no one tell me what she sings? D. Why do you think the nightingale's song is described as welcome and the cuckoo's song as thrilling? Answer. The nightingale's note is welcome as it tells travelers of rest and shade ahead. The cuckoo's song usually tells us that winter is over and that spring is ahead. E. How do we know that the reaper's song is not a joyous one? Which words in the poem tell us this? Answer. We know that the reaper's song is not a happy one from the words melancholy, plaintive, old, unhappy, far off things, battles long ago, natural sorrow, loss, or pain. F. How do we know that the reaper's song had a lasting effect on the poet? Answer. Long after the poet has passed out of earshot of the singer, he can still hear the music in his heart. 2. Answer the following with reference to context. A. Alone she cuts and binds the grain and sings a melancholy strain. One. Who is the poet addressing at this point? Answer. The poet is possibly addressing anyone passing by at the time. 2. Who is she and where is she? Answer. She is a reaper in a field cutting and binding grain. 3. What kind of effect did she have on the poet? Answer. Her singing deeply affects the poet. Her song is remembered for a very long time. 4. What does melancholy strain mean, and which other synonyms phrase does the poet use later in the poem? Answer. Sad song. Late the phrase plaintum numbers is used. B. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird. 1. Prior to this, which bird's song is the reaper's song compared to? Answer. The nightingale. 2. Where might the cuckoo bird be heard? Answer. The cuckoo bird's song may be heard among the farthest Hebrides. 3. What might this thrilling voice do there? Answer. There, this thrilling voice will break the silence of the sea. Understanding poetry. A. Write the rhyming scheme of the poem. Answer. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B, C, C, D, D. B. Count the number of syllables in each line of the first and second verses. Are they uniform? Are any lines shorter than the others? Answer. All the lines have 8 beats, 4 feet, except the fourth line in each verse, which contains only 6 beats, 3 feet. There is one line in the last verse with 9 syllables. The last foot has an extra syllable. Working with words. Use the following in sentences of your own. More welcome. You are more welcome to stay at our home for next week, he said to his aunt. Melancholy. The melancholy silence that followed was broken by the songs of the children and laughter from the next room. Is overflowing with. His heart is overflowing with gratitude, pride, and devotion. Breaking the silence. A scream broke the silence of the night, and everyone at home rushed out of the room to see from where it came. Familiar matter. I can understand reports and articles on familiar matters if these are expressed in simple language. Profound. The child was in profound slumber. Plaintive. He spoke in a plaintive voice that he had got severe injury in his hand. Among the farthest. Pluto is among the farthest planets in the solar system. 3. Choose the correct prefix Miss or dis and complete the following words. A. Misbehave. B. Disinfect. C. Disloyal. D. Disappear. E. Misspent. F. Misspelling. G. Discourtesy. H. Disbelieve. I. Misgovern. J. Disapprove. K. Mismanage. L. Mistrust. Which sentences are correct? Find the incorrect sentences and correct them. A. Adil went to the playground between every lesson. B. There should be no disputes between each member of the team. This is incorrect. Correct sentence is there should be no disputes among the members of the team. Raheel took a short break between classes. D. There was a 10-minute break between each race. E. There was no correspondence between each branch and other branches of the bank. So these are correct sentences. Only B, sentence B is incorrect. To correct the following. A. Between you and I think the team will lose the match. Between you and me, I think the team will lose the match. B. During the past week, there has been a difference of opinion between he and I. During the past week, there has been a difference of opinion between he and me. C. The debate between the teacher and I went on for an hour. The debate between the teacher and me went on for an hour. D. There is really not much difference between we and them. There is really not much difference between them and us. E. The sweets should be shared equally between you and he. The sweets should be shared equally between you and him. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.